My name is Joel. I live in the city of Verona. I've been here with my family for 6 years, almost 7. First 3 years were in the city of Ferrara. We worked with a small evangelical church there. Then we moved to Verona to start a Reformed church, a Presbyterian church, gospel-centered church. Work here is very tough. Work here is very tough. Why? Well, because Italians are very secular people on the one hand, and they live as if God doesn't exist in their day-to-day life. At the same time, they're Roman Catholic, and most of them are staunchly Roman Catholic, and the two things go together very nicely. You know, you have the fire insurance, you've been baptized, and you live however you want to. When people are spiritual, Italian spirituality looks like this. You go, you pray to a saint. You kiss the feet of some statue. I've seen people going up to a coffin of a famous saint, and they'll rub their face on the side of that coffin. I think it was last year, if you would have gone to the Mary of Lourdes, any of the sites dedicated to her, you could have double indulgence. And we have up above Verona a temple dedicated to Mary of Lourdes, and people would come there in order to get double indulgence. That's Italian spirituality. What Italians need the gospel. There are very, very, very few churches that would be gospel-loving churches. It would preach the doctrines of grace. It would lift up Christ. We don't have that. If you look at overall statistics, it's about 1% evangelical. A very small percentage of those churches would consider themselves Reformed. Most of them would even reject what we would call gospel-loving Reformed theology. Boy, what I would love to see for Italy is a movement to plant churches. I think a movement to plant churches in Italy is going to consist of a couple different things. I think that foreign missions are necessary. I think we need people to come and plant churches. We don't have young men that we can train right now. The churches are so small, the churches are weak. We need some more churches, and I think we're going to be dependent on people coming from the outside. But that's not the only thing we need. We need something that's indigenous at the same time. So we need a way to have young men who are trained, who will be coming and planting churches, who will even take over some of those churches that are, you know, I mean that in a positive sense. They would come and they would become pastors of churches that were planted by missionaries. I think that's important. I would want to see, as a Presbyterian, I would want to see a presbytery where several churches are working together to plant more churches. Several churches are working together to do publishing. Several churches are working together to train people. Several churches are working together to take the gospel forward, because that's what it's about. It's about taking the gospel forward, lifting up Christ in this culture.